Greetings once more, one and all. Fanatical Dragon back once again. Another quick unboxing today, this time for Arrow's recently released V-Cinema Bullets and Betrayals box set. Came out in the UK last Monday, I think the 28th of April. Came out in the US a couple of days after that. And it's already available to watch in full, including with all the extra features on the Arrow Player, which you can pick up, I think, usually for a free 7-day trial through Amazon Prime, or it's about £5 a month if you're in the UK. But if you're on the fence about whether or not to get the actual box set, quick unboxing today. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see reviews for the individual movies. I was actually lucky enough to get sent screeners for this, but I just had too much going on to be able to make reviews before the set actually came out. But I've worked about halfway through the movies, so I've seen enough of them to know that I actually wanted to get the box set proper. Take from that as you will, but let us take a little look inside the set and see what you're getting. It's a pretty well thought out series of extras for a quite unconventional series of films, really. For those unaware, V-Cinema relates to, well, it's actually Victory Cinema, but really these movies were designed to be released straight onto the then VHS home video market in Japan. They were not shot on video, most of them shot on 16mm of the ones that are on this set, so they do look like normal movies, so they are cropped, so you're going to get your black bars at the side of the screen because they're all in 4:3, the way that movies used to be when we was kids, before the advent of widescreen at home. So we get this nice little card wraparound, which I'm stoked to see that we can get rid of the BBFC certificates, and then we get basically a gloss and a matte version of Chris Malbon's beautiful artwork on the front of the box. Our 9 movies are spread over 5 discs, and then we get a book. We'll take a little look at the extras in a wee second, but let's take a look inside. So that's our nice rigid card full slip. Chris's same artwork on the front of the book. And then disc 1 is giving us Crime Hunter Bullets of Rage, which was essentially the first V-Cinema movie that Toei made, and then it did so well for them it kind of spawned a whole legion of other movies, not necessarily all in the same style, though there were a couple of sequels to Crime Hunter. And we're getting a reversible sleeve with the second movie on this disc, which is Neo Chinpira, Zoom Goes the Bullet, which also got a sequel, and this one kind of ends on a little bit of a cliffhanger, so I'm interested to see if we get a volume 2 of this box set, if we get the second movie in the series, which would tie up the story a little bit more. We're getting a few cards in here as well, which are all reversible with Chris's individual artwork for the film. That's a wee promo for the Arrow Player, where you can watch all the films just now. And that is our 2 cards for Crime Hunter and Neo Chinpira. Very, very cool. On disc buys for this, we get a really, really good video essay by Tom Mez, who's been, I think, the producer of the box set. And at this point, I'll have to throw a shout out to Sam Dagan's excellent podcast, Eros and Massacre. She interviews Tom Mez. They speak about the set quite a lot. I'll leave a link down below, and do absolutely check out her podcast because it's incredible. So that's our first disc, Crime Hunter and Neo Chinpira. The second disc round is giving us Stranger and Carlos. And Stranger, really, really great movie. Stranger is kind of like a female taxi driver meets Steven Spielberg's Jewel. So she is basically being stalked by a kind of phantom, slightly supernatural truck. It's really, really entertaining, and the director, who's interviewed on the disc, freely admits that he borrowed an awful lot from Jewel, and you can kind of see it in a lot of the framing and the staging. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed Stranger. A great movie. Second film on this one is Carlos, which is a little bit more of a slightly more traditional kind of Yakuza style story, but really, really entertaining. A kind of group of Brazilian immigrants living in Japan end up kind of going up against 2 different factions of Yakuza. And that's about all I will say, but yeah, really, really, really good. There's a video essay on this called An Extra Round in the Chamber, which is by the incredible Jonathan Clements. All the video essays that they put together for this box set have been really, really, really good. That's our original poster for Stranger, and the reversible Chris Malbon artwork, and the original poster for Carlos, and again Chris's artwork on the back. Moving on to disc number 3, which gives us Burning Dog and Female Prisoner Scorpion Death Threat. Burning Dog is kind of like a heist movie, a little bit of a slow burn, but still really, really enjoyable. But the real treat on this disc for me was the kind of semi-official, kind of unofficial sequel to the marvellous Female Prisoner Scorpion movies. So this is kind of really a sequel to the first two films in the series. It does reference Miko Kaji's character, though she doesn't appear, but the film is just really, really good. It kind of goes its own way. Shades of La Femme Nikita to it too, but still manages to kind of work that into the kind of more traditional women in prison type setting of the original films, but puts its own spin on it. Really, really, really strong. There's a wonderful, wonderful video essay on here about Female Prisoner Scorpion Death Threat, which kind of looks at the series as a whole, and indeed this movie. And the video essay is by Sam Dagan. There's a video essay for Burning Dog, which has been done by Mark Schilling, also really, really strong. And again, we get our two cards, one for Burning Dog, and again, Chris Malbon's beautiful artwork, which you'll see on the disc menus as well. And then the original poster for Female Prisoner Scorpion Death Threat, and its little beautiful reversible art that Chris has put together for that movie. Moving on to disc 4, and we get The Hitman Blood Smells Like Roses, and we get Danger Point The Road to Hell, and again our two cards with Chris's artwork on one side and our original posters. Really good video essay on Danger Point The Road to Hell by Japanese cinema expert James Belmont. And very happy to report that there's an absolutely spectacular video essay on here by my dear friend Frankie Balboa, aka the Shogun Supreme, who runs the Times Square Kung Fu channel, and you'll find him on Twitter. Really, really great video essay he's put together focusing on Teruo Ishii, who is the director of The Hitman Blood Smells Like Roses. Really, really enjoyed Frankie's work there. 2 thumbs way up, mate. You did an absolutely incredible job. Moving on to our last disc on the set, which contains XX Beautiful Hunter. As there's only one movie on this, you just get a big version of the original artwork inside on the reverse. We also get Chris's artwork from the menu screen and our original poster as a card. And video essay on this one is by Patrick Macias. And there's also interviews throughout the entire set on disc with quite a few of the directors involved in the various movies. And there's introductions by a Japanese film critic Masaki Tanioka. Then we get our beautiful bound book, which contains quite a lot. We're getting Mayhem for the Home Screen, Toei v Cinema by Earl Jackson, Susurrections of Sasori, Female Prisoners and the Ghost of Resistance by the always incredible Haley Scanlon, Drive My Car at the Speed of Toei v Cinema by Daisuke Mio, and then notes about the presentations and production credits. And then obviously we get our cast and crew notes for each movie. And it's Earl Jackson's article. Again in Arrow's now go to tiny font, so they really do pack an enormous amount into these booklets. So although it doesn't look like it's that big a book, you are getting a huge amount of information. Haley Scanlon's article, and I think for me Female Prisoner is one of the strongest movies on the set, so I'm kind of glad that we're getting an article focused on it. And then there's Daisuke Mio's article. And that is your set. So let me know, like I say, in the comments down below if you do want to see individual reviews for probably each disc would be the best way to go, so I can do a review of 2 movies in one. But if you're on the fence about whether or not these movies are going to be for you, I would say absolutely do pick them up. If you can look past the fact that they're not widescreen films, which really honestly did not bother me at all when I was watching them. It's kind of quite fine watching things that are 4:3, just reminds me of my childhood. And they pack a huge amount into these movies in terms of creative freedom and quite a lot of kind of liberal use of stunts and shootouts and explosions for very, very low budgets. So if you kind of enjoy Robert Rodriguez's El Mariachi, films of that sort of nature where the ambition is outstretching the financial means that they've had to put together the films, and I think you'll find so much to enjoy on the set. It's a really, really wonderful introduction to Japanese V cinema. Really hoping the set does well and we might get future volumes of this, because this is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of an awful lot of the movies that were made for the Japanese home video market right the way on from this time period through the 80s, the 90s and into the noughties. So that's it. I have been the Fanatical Dragon. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end of this, I absolutely salute you. If you enjoy what I do here, then do please consider clicking the red button and subscribing to the channel. Desperately trying to get myself to 5,000 subs by the end of the year, and if you could help me get one step closer, I would be incredibly grateful. If you really enjoy what I'm doing, I do also have a Patreon. You'll find a link down to that below, where I post a whole bunch of exclusive content that's not often up on here, and some early access stuff, sometimes months before it appears here. That's it. I've rambled to you long enough. Go watch some great movies. Let me know if you picked up the box set in the comments, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.